Once again, I am so thrilled to be working with each and every one of you. Thank you for trusting me. I'm really thrilled to help you, frankly, make this your best year yet. Why not? Let's make 2018 your year. It's going to be a little bit of work, but it will be a lot of fun. As we go through the call today, as I mentioned, I will share my tips for success specifically for low carb day. I will then address over exercising. I have noticed that quite a few of you are asking questions. For example, can I continue my Orange Theory workouts or my CrossFit workouts and do your workouts on top of that? That's okay, but I'm going to chat through some of the pros and cons of doubling up on workouts and frankly, some of the reasons that you might even want to scale back. In regard to low carb day, I recently did a blog post as well, which I'm going to add to the chat feature. Feel free to click on that. You will be able to see some of these top tips on that blog post. And tomorrow morning, I will share a video that I recently filmed with some of those low carb tips as well. One of my biggest tips for you today and tomorrow for a low carb day is to enter your meals into MyFitnessPal in the morning or even the night before. So instead of waiting until this evening and trying to log your food and realizing that you went over on carbs or under on those 50 grams of net carbs, go ahead and pre-plan. Let's log your food this morning, or if you did it last night, you get some major brownie points from me. That's the very best way to ensure that we're going to stay under the 50 grams of net carbs. I will answer any questions that you have related to the MyFitnessPal app today as well. But again, our main goal is to stay under 50 grams of net carbs. Net carbs are your total carbs minus your fiber, and that equals your net carbs. So for example, if you're logging a handful of almonds or a serving of almonds, you'll note that almonds have proteins, fats, and carbs, and fiber. So we actually have to go, okay, how many carbs, how many grams of fiber, and then we calculate the total number of net carbs. So really, really important. Go ahead and log your food this morning. You'll be able to make adjustments. I'm a creature of habit. I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but when I find a really good food log for a low carb day, I kind of tend to stick with that through, the entire 6-week program, just because I'm fine, having similar foods.
It's saved in MyFitnessPal, so it's easy to log.
Good point. Yeah, it's saved on MyFitnessPal. Actually, glad you brought that up. If you guys did purchase the cookbook, either one of the cookbooks, we have all of the fast way to fat loss recipes saved in the MyFitnessPal app. So you can look up those recipes as well, and you'll be able to easily log them. You don't have to do any guesswork there. My second tip to help you thrive through a low carb day is have some simple go-to snacks on hand. I know many of you work outside of the home. It will be very beneficial to have some almonds on hand, maybe some beef jerky, some veggies that would be lower in carbs. That's always going to be really, really beneficial for you. Think foods that are high in protein and high in fit fats. You might have an avocado on hand with some cut up veggies. You might have even some nut butters or a protein shake on hand. Some of you had asked me about protein bars. I'm not aware of too many really high quality good protein bars. Casey, Lindsay, if you guys have some suggestions, feel free to post those. I usually would make my own if I really need a protein bar. But frankly, so many protein bars are extremely high in sugar and carbs, and so it kind of defeats the purpose. Or if they are high in protein and low in carbs, there's often a lot of other gunk or ingredients. Or they just taste terrible. Let's be clear. But simple go-to snacks on hand is going to be really, really beneficial for you as well on a low carb day. In the morning on a low carb day, if you are following a schedule like I am, where I'm going to break my fast closer to noon, be sure that you are hydrating. Focus on water. Many times we wake up in the morning and we feel hungry, but we're actually simply thirsty, because that same signal that tells you you're hungry tells you you're thirsty. So drink lots and lots of water. I actually keep a big glass of water next to my bed. And when I wake up, I drink that entire glass of water. I put it there before I go to bed every single night. When I wake up, I drink the whole glass of water. It's usually room temp by then, which is great because my body absorbs that water. That's a great idea if you guys haven't started implementing that already. So that way, before I even get to the bathroom in the morning, I've already drank a big glass of water, which is great. Drink bone broth if applicable. Many of you have asked about kombucha. That's absolutely fine to drink as well. Herbal teas will be wonderful too. So let's focus on hydrating through the morning. Another quick tip for you to thrive through low carb days, so Monday, Tuesday this week, is to vary your proteins, especially for those of you who are vegetarian or vegan. Let's be creative. I don't want you to get too bored. I mentioned that I'm a creature of habit, but at the same time, I don't want you to feel like, oh my gosh, the faster way to fat loss, it's like an eat this, not that, type plan where I can only have 3 things on a low carb day. Let's be creative. Let's do fish, pork, beef, sausage, Vega protein shakes if you're vegan, lots of other ways to get some good protein. Nuts, of course, are really phenomenal as well. And then let's focus on the healthy fats, as I mentioned earlier. So we're going to have the coconut oils. We're going to have nuts again, fish, avocados. That's going to be important for keeping you satiated over a long period of time as well. One thing that you'll find today and tomorrow is that you feel fairly full. And the reason is if you are accustomed to eating more carbohydrates, your body actually processes those pretty quickly. And hunger is all about that blood sugar and the insulin response, etc. So when your blood sugar is dipping after having a ton of carbs, you're going to be hungry again and you're going to want to consume more food. Well, if you're having more protein and fats, you're actually going to be satiated for longer because it takes your body longer to process those good whole foods. So keep that in mind. Also, just a couple quick notes, which I shared last week. You might have a bit of a headache today, totally normal. You might feel kind of those detox symptoms as well. If you are feeling the detox symptoms, I'd kind of keep the lemon out of your water. Don't do anything to accelerate that detox if you're already kind of feeling that way. If you do start to feel a little bit nauseous or lightheaded, grab your almonds, grab what you need to grab, break your fast early. It's completely fine. We can slowly ease you in if necessary. So do not feel guilty about that for a single minute. Do what you can do for these first couple low carb days. And then a few weeks from now, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, my body is so accustomed now to this lifestyle that it almost feels easy. Okay, few notes in regard to exercise, because again, we must have a lot of type A go-getters in this particular round because I've gotten more questions than ever before about workouts. Can I do my workouts at Orange Theory? Can I continue my runs? Can I continue my CrossFit workouts in addition to your workouts? I appreciate the fact that you guys are overachievers. I really do. I can relate with that a little bit. But I do not want you to overexercise. And here's why. I'm going to post a link right here in the chat feature regarding adrenal fatigue. I want to be sure that through the Faster Way to Fat Loss lifestyle, you are balancing stress and rest, okay? Our bodies can only handle a certain amount of stress per day. It's just simply the facts. That's not to say that we are not very strong and capable as women. It's just to say that truly we shouldn't be putting our bodies in a constant state of stress because then we're going to have elevated cortisol levels, chronic elevated cortisol levels if we're under eating, if we're over exercising, if we're not getting enough sleep. We're going to cause adrenal fatigue. We're going to tax our adrenals. We're going to cause hypothyroidism or a suboptimal thyroid function. We're going to cause all kinds of illness because our immune system is down. So go ahead and pull up that article that I just linked. It's actually a quiz, and it says, could you have adrenal fatigue? Now, a few of you have been officially diagnosed with adrenal fatigue. If that is the case, if you've been to a naturopathic doctor or you've been to an integrative functional medicine, whatever the case may be, doctor, and you've been officially diagnosed with adrenal fatigue, be sure that you do not engage in the 24-hour fast. Because weeks 4, 5, and 6, when we do the 24 hours fast, that would actually cause some undue stress on your system or some unnecessary stress on your system. So don't worry about the 24-hour fast if you've been officially diagnosed with adrenal fatigue. Read through this article, look at some of those symptoms of adrenal fatigue. We will actually talk more in depth about this as we go through the Fast Way to Fat Loss program. You've probably caught on to this. My program is not simply to burn fat. I want to give you a holistic perspective. I want to take a holistic approach with you. I want to help you be as healthy as possible, as energized as possible. This isn't about looking good in a bikini, although you will by the summer. It's about really caring for your body, listening to your body. So again, we'll talk about this as we go through the program. I would venture to say 50% of my clients or more come to me with hypothyroidism. They come to me with a suboptimal thyroid function that's gone undiagnosed. So many of my clients come to me with adrenal fatigue or chronically elevated cortisol levels because, listen, ladies, we are under so much stress. We are expected to look like a fitness model. We're expected to work and make money. We're expected to raise the next generation. We're expected to be a very vital part of our community and our church. That's insanity. Hundreds of years ago, that was not the case. But now, unfortunately, our culture has put a lot of pressure on us and it causes these issues. So we need to be sure that we're not over-exercising. Few of you are probably training for an endurance race. If that is the case, I would do your long runs or your more substantial training on Saturday, if possible. If you need to do it during the week or on a Sunday, that's completely fine. Let's just simply be sure that we're bumping up the macros. If applicable, listen to your body. If you love going to Orange Theory and you have a certain group that you go with and certain days that you attend, that's 100% fine. I love the gym. I love classes. I do not want to take you away from that. Continue to do that, but really listen to your body. It might not be necessary to also double up on the workouts and do my workout. If you're not super into the gym membership right now, and maybe you've been going to CrossFit, but you're like, take it or leave it, I'd be happy to delay my membership. Maybe just try it my way, try my workouts, which we know work because they're very strategically paired with the food log. I think that's a phenomenal strategy as well. Sometimes my ladies will do one round where they simply focus on my nutrition cycle, but continue their workouts. And then the second round, they're like, you know what, I really want to dial it in. I want to get even better results. I will only do Amanda's workouts with the food cycle for the second round. So play it by ear. There's no cut and dry kind of black and white answer to this. I want you guys to use your common sense. Some of you just need to get out of the house and go to Orange Theory, and that's why you're going. That's why I go to the gym. I just got to get out of the house for some mommy time. So completely fine. Same with spinning. I love spinning. If you're used to spinning, maybe you do the spinning on your Tabata days, your low carb days, and you add the strength training days in addition to that as well. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start to answer your questions. And again, we'll probably take about 15 minutes for questions. I will post this recording on our community group page. You can ask any other questions and I will answer those and our coaches will answer those. All right. Casey is one of our Fast Way to Fat Loss coaches. She says Orange Theory is best on low carb cardio days. I agree with that. Even on an active recovery day, if we're going to bump up the calories a little bit. Okay. Shelly says, how do you feel about Spark? That's a great question, Shelly. I'm actually not super familiar with Spark. I believe that's an Advocare product. I don't love any product that we feel we need to get through the morning. You guys know that I do drink coffee. I drink very good coffee. I like to be able to chew my coffee. It's strong. But I also just had a newborn. But I like to be able to say, you know what, I could go without my cup of coffee and still be fine emotionally and in regard to energy. So maybe, to keep that in mind, if it's something that you feel you need or you're addicted to get through the morning, that might not be positive. But in regard to ingredients, I'm not super familiar, so I can't speak to the ingredients. All right. Can we swap low macro day for Thursday and Sunday? Fridays are hard. Absolutely, 100%. And then on Friday, I would do your back day. That's completely fine. All right. Can Orange Theory count as a sprint day? Absolutely. All right. Sherry says, I have a question about sleep. I followed the program all last week and I've noticed that I'm waking up a lot during the night. Is there any correlation to sleep in the new eating exercise routine? That is very interesting. Usually you'll actually sleep better. I would say 99.9% of my clients say they sleep much better when they eat whole foods and get the workouts in. I had insomnia for years and years and years. This helped me with insomnia. If you're having issues with sleep, be sure that you have plenty of magnesium. I use a magnesium spray right before I go to bed. You can try some oils with lavender as well. But frankly, it shouldn't negatively affect your sleep. If you feel that you might have an adrenal fatigue issue, which is causing insomnia, you might try just half a banana with some Himalayan sea salt right before you go to bed, maybe even a little bit of coconut oil with that or some nut butter, just right before you go to bed. See how that helps. That would be good.
Sometimes you're just starting to work out. Sometimes you're
wired. Yeah. But maybe, Sherry, let's give it another week and just kind of see. But usually a more healthy lifestyle would help with better sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And be sure too that at night you have your phone on night mode or you have your blue light blocking glasses on. This time of year is difficult because we have that blue light hitting our eyes, which kind of tells our brains that it's daytime.
Right. Yeah.
The blue light that you receive from your phone would be the same that we would receive from the sun at noon. So yeah. I usually turn my phone on night mode, etc. after the sun goes down. Okay, Jessica says, what about the juice cleanse or having juicing through the program? I'm still nursing, so I know I can't really do the juice cleanse. We will incorporate the juice cleanse weeks 4, 5, and 6 as an option. I personally still have juices every week. I'm obviously breastfeeding as well, and I just use that kind of like as a supplement to a low-calorie day. All right, Mercedes says, is extreme pain in knees and thighs symptoms of overtraining? Absolutely. And if you're having any sort of pain versus soreness, you need to scale it back. We need to go low impact. We need to be sure that you're not doing any type of jumping, hit, Tabata. So yeah, I would definitely scale it back if you ever feel pain, and keep us updated on a daily basis about any time a soreness would transition to a pain. Sandy says, what about calories? Is it necessary to consume all of them? I'm barely getting half, yet I'm satisfied. Yeah, really good question, Sandy. So here's the deal. We are not counting calories. We are tracking macros. Now, that being said, you will have a hard time hitting those macro minimums on a low carb day because of what I mentioned earlier. Proteins and fats are very satisfying, and whole foods are very satisfying versus when we simply eat a donut, a very short time later, we're going to be hungry again. So we will probably slowly increase your macros, Sandy, as your metabolism increases. But right now, eat until you're satisfied. Eat until you're 80% full, and then we'll kind of go from there. Any other questions, Brandon, that you've seen? There's
a bunch of new ones.
Okay, a bunch of new ones. All right. Still trying to figure out the food guidelines. On low carb day, we eat less than 50 grams net carbs. On the other days, we simply try to stay within the recommendation macros on MyFitnessPal. No carb limit. Really good question. So there is a carb limit, and I'm really glad that you asked that. The carb limit on your regular macro days is that goal that MyFitnessPal gives you for your carbs. So for example, if I personally go into the MyFitnessPal app on my phone, I can pull up my profile by clicking on this More button. I click on goals, and then I click on calorie and macronutrient goals. My carbohydrate goals on a regular macro day are 219 grams of carbs. So I'm not going to go over 219 grams of carbs, which frankly, that's a lot of carbs. Yeah. But I'm also breastfeeding right now, and I'll be very active starting this week because I'm going to jump into the workouts with you guys. My protein goal would be 88 grams, which I could actually go up on that a little bit by adjusting to 25% overall, and then fat would be 58 grams. Now, on your low macro day, we're going to have 25% less overall macros, so we'll do a little bit of fancy math to calculate those. Maureen says, but that carb goal for carbs in those days is so high. Yeah, mine for sure is. Yeah, and if you come to the program knowing that you're carb sensitive, so you have been working with a registered dietitian, you've worked with a nutritionist, and you know for sure that you feel sluggish or bloated when you do consume a lot of carbs, listen to your body. We might bump down just a little bit, but listen, I don't want anybody doing keto. This is not a keto lifestyle. This is not a low carb Atkins lifestyle. We need carbs as women to rev up thyroid function. We need carbs for hormones to function properly. So keep that in mind. All right, Carrie says, is a leg day tracked the same as regular day? Yes, with the exception of adding your treat meal. So you'll still log your treat meal and make sure that it fits your macros. Really good question, Carrie. Probiotics. Looked on Amazon and was overwhelmed. Yeah, really good question. Go ahead and get Just Thrive Probiotics. They are the best. I'm going to type that in here, Just Thrive Probiotics. I do have a coupon code for Just Thrive. Lindsay or Casey, if you guys know what that coupon code is, let me know. It's thriveprobiotic.com. And Tress VIP 30. Use that for 30% off those probiotics. You will be so happy. Yeah. All right. Carrie says, I've had headaches on and off all week. Is that common? It is common as you're getting started, especially if you were consistently having quite a few carbs before we started, which frankly, most of us were because it was the holidays. Right. So also, I don't know about you guys, but we had some crazy barometric pressure stuff going on last week, which was causing headaches for everybody I knew. So that could have been also related to it. If you're having headaches, be sure you are increasing your magnesium. If you are increasing magnesium, you also need more calcium so that your body can process the magnesium. Some of you guys are supplementing with vitamin D, but because you haven't been supplementing with magnesium, you're kind of experiencing those magnesium deficiency symptoms, which include headaches. So let's just be sure that everything is balanced together. Okay, Dawn. So we don't need the number of calories listed on MyFitnessPal. Nope, don't worry about the calories. Just simply focus on the macros. All right, Lindsay says BCAAs or collagen peptides. Either one. I actually kind of switch on and off depending on the day. I had collagen peptides yesterday. Often on the morning of a low carb day, I'll do BCAAs. I personally like Mom Sanity BCAAs. If you guys are like, I have never heard of BCAAs, I have no clue what you're talking about. Don't worry about it. If you are familiar with BCAAs, I like Mom Sanity because there's zero sugar. BCAAs will actually help curb your appetite, keep you focused and energized as well. All right, I'm still nursing and I usually take my prenatal vitamins at night before sleeping. Is that okay to take while fasting or should I be remembering? I would personally take your supplements when you break your fast. That's usually going to be better in general with supplements, but look at the back of the bottle just to see what the recommendation is. Mercedes says, do you ever recommend breaking the workout in half during 30 minutes? Actually, I do. That's completely fine. If you only have 30 minutes a day to work out, simply do 30 minutes of my workout. Right. Do not worry about fitting in every last rep if you're very, very limited on time. If you like to split up the workouts, that's completely fine as well. My goal is to be sure that I provide you with effective workouts. For some of you, it's going to be a huge challenge to do that gym workout, so you're going to opt for the beginner. For some of you, you are actually a fitness professional, or you are a Beachbody coach, or you're an Advocare rep, so you are ready to rock and roll in the gym, which is why I make that gym program pretty intense. But again, if time is an issue, if you're very, very limited on time, do as much as you can. Give me 120% during that time period. All right, Sherry and Jason, kombucha recommendation. What is the kombucha that I do? Synergy?
Yeah, it's like GTB Synergy.
Yeah, I get mine. Maybe go grab it. I get mine from Earth Fare, which is a really nice health food store around us. The Trilogy brand. That's what it is. Misty just hopped in. Yep. Synergy Trilogy. Yeah. Okay. If I drink bone broth and apple cider vinegar regularly, do I still need a probiotic? That's a good question. The reason that you would want a probiotic is because it might have different strains. I personally drink bone broth and I do have apple cider vinegar here. I haven't been drinking it much recently because I'm not sure how it would affect the milk supply, but I do the probiotic on top of that, which has really healed my gut and helped me prevent any kind of flare-ups from the food sensitivities that I used to deal with. For me, bone broth is really awesome for gut health, but then also boosting immune system. All right, Carrie says, embarrassed to say not a regular exercise. Don't be embarrassed to say that. I felt a little faint this morning after doing beginner exercises. You can absolutely do the exercises later in the day. Your body will adjust as well to the fasted workouts. I do my workouts in the afternoon because I typically have a bit of a mood decline or a little bit of a mood dip in the afternoon. So I go ahead and do my workout right about, the time that I would typically kind of start feeling a little bit blue, especially during my postpartum recovery. But yeah, totally fine, Carrie, no problem at all. Jennifer says, can you give us an idea of how many calories we should be burning during the lifting days? Actually doesn't matter. I'm glad that you asked this question because here's the deal. When you lift, The goal is that we're developing lean, calorie-burning muscle, which is in turn going to speed up our metabolism over time while we're stationary. So that's really the goal. The number of calories that you burn during a lifting workout is very relative, and it's hard to track that. But this isn't a calories in, calories out. It's a let's go ahead and build lean muscle so that we can increase our metabolism for the long term and also prevent osteoporosis and all of the other benefits of strength training. Really glad that you asked that, Jennifer, though. But don't worry too much about tracking those calories during the strength training workouts. All right, multivitamins. I personally do not take a multivitamin. I take Juice Plus, which is something one of my clients distributes, and I really like it. I can post about that actually later this week, all of the different supplements I take. Bone broth homemade, absolutely. Casey says she uses the Epic grass-fed brand of bone broth. Carrie says, as long as we stay under 50 grams of carbs, are we still good to be a little over on protein? Absolutely, 100%. Yes, if you need to be over on something, being over on protein and fat on a low-carb day is exactly what you want. You're going to be well over on fat, obviously, but focusing on a high protein diet's good, but again, drink lots and lots and lots of water if we're doing a low sodium, high protein, because I don't want you guys dehydrating. All right, Angie says, Isagenix cleanse, can that replace 24-hour fast? Isagenix is a really phenomenal company, and the products that they produce are really for supported intermittent fasting. You'll actually find it easier, believe it or not, to do a 24-hour fast without any additional products. It's easier simply to drink water. A water fast is even better. Now, I do like the Isagenix cleanse. I love their Ionix product as well. If you want to try that one of the weeks 4, 5, and 6, when we do the 24-hour fast and just kind of see what you prefer, that's completely fine. All right, Renee says, for an upcoming vacation, want to take my workouts on the road. Was thinking jump rope and some of those stretchy bands. Any other ideas at Fitness Suitcase? Good question. You're going to be doing the Tabata workouts, those Tabata or HIIT workouts on Monday, Tuesday, which will be really phenomenal for vacation. You will also have access to the at-home workout when you're on vacation, which really only requires a 20 or 25 pound weighted object and then some 5 or 8 pound dumbbells for some of the arm workouts. But if you have a jump rope, that's ideal because we can get your heart rate up with that jump rope as well. Of course, you can go outside if you're in a warm weather climate to do some runs, but also enjoy your vacation. Don't worry too much about sticking to the program 120% perfect. I want you guys to be able to create a lifestyle with the fast rate of fat loss. So if you have to modify a little bit, totally fine. Shannon says, for the home workouts warm-up cool-down, is it okay to do a light workout cardio video? 100%, absolutely. If you want to do the jump rope, if you want to do the stairs, that's a good option as well. Lindsay says, after the call, can you please post links to the products you like on the Facebook page? Sure, I will most certainly do that. All right, I'm going to, bone broth, does a cup early morning count as breaking your fast? As long as we're staying under 50 calories, you're totally fine, and it's not breaking your fast. All right, guys, did you see any other questions that I totally missed? I'm scrolling up.
A lot of questions.
Yeah, we got a lot of really, really thoughtful questions, guys. What I'm going to do is post this on our Facebook community group page. And then if you have a question that I was not able to address, feel free to post it in the thread. I will answer, my coaches will answer. But guys, once again, I am so proud of you for committing to the fast rate of fat loss lifestyle. This is going to be an incredible month. We're going to have a lot of fun this week. If you feel overwhelmed, please know that is normal, but we're going to help you get through. We're going to support each other on the Facebook page. We're going to support each other across social media. Please use the faster rate of fat loss hashtag. Please also tag me. Feel free to tag me in your updates so that I can easily see those updates and give you some encouragement and support across social media. Very, very excited to work with you guys through this week. I hope you have a wonderful low carb day. Keep me in the loop on our page later today. We'll talk to you ladies soon. I love you ladies. Bye.